Hi everybody, aloha, hello, happy Christmas, happy New Year. We are at a time of the year to make big decisions, you know that. Some of us, we are getting out of the winter, some of you are getting out of summer. And that's why I'm here, in my bat cave, because today I'm gonna make big decisions. Two, actually. First, at this time of the year, what kind of beers we need to start to drink from now on for the rest of the year? One. And the second one, it's time to change brake pads. Let's talk about what kind of brake pads they exist, and especially the ones from disco brakes. Well, first topic about beers. It's easy, really easy. The ones that are finishing the winter, they need to start to drink fresh beers because we go into spring and summer. The ones that stop the summer, they need to go to heavy beers, to keep the body in winter. That's it. Sentence. Finish. Okay, but what about the braking pads? This is a big discussion, a big topic. So actually we will start. You know, there are three types of brake pads existing. The soft ones, we call them organic or Kevlar. The metallics or Cinderella, that they are more harder. Or the semi-metallics, the ones in the middle. So, let's start with organics or Kevlar. Organics or Kevlar, they are excellent bite in the beginning of the braking, and especially when the rotors they are cold. So that means they are really soft and they react really fast in the first touch of the brake. But when the rotor is really hot, actually in long downhills, the performance of those brake pads, they get loose and loose. So they are soft, especially for the first bite of the braking, no noisy, they are no noisy at all, and they are really friendly to our rotors because they're soft, so the rotors they don't get wear. Second type, completely the opposite, metallics or Cinderella. Metallic and Cinderella, they are really harder brake pads. The name it says, it's metallic. Obviously there are some particles, some materials with metallic stuff inside, and those brake pads, they are especially for cold conditions. And in the beginning of the braking process, they don't work so good. You don't get all the best power. But when the rotors they are really warm, then you get all the performance. So that means you need high temperature on the brake pad, on the rotor, sorry, and the brake pads they work pretty good. Obviously, because they are metallic, they have some components of metallic, they make noise. So completely opposite to the organics, and especially for the rotors, they get a little bit damage when you use them a lot, right? Next one, and the last category is semi-metallic. It's a good combination, you know. It's like when you choose vanilla or chocolate. Okay, give me ice cream with vanilla and chocolate together. It's the same. When you have to choose one or the other one, you use semi-metallic. Semi-metallics is a really good balance brake pad because they have a little bit the bite from the organic, the first bite from the organic, and also the durability from the metallic ones. They have a little bit more noise than the organics or Kevlar, but less noise. They are less noisy than the metallics. Really simple. Three categories of brake pads. But now, the guys from Disco Brake, they have more categories. Let's go deep on it. Here we go. A quick review about all the categories that disco brakes they have in their brake pads. We will start. They have semi-metallic, we know, Cinderella, also we know the quality, and Kevlar. Okay, this is clear. If you put disco brake pads, you have a scale with all the quality from each brake pad, and you have a 1 star or 5 stars. So, semi-metallics, they are 3.5 stars. That means they have a 3.5 power of 5, quietness 3.5, that means the noise, life expectancy, durability, they have 3.5, and heat dissipation 3.5. So that means they are the most balanced brake pads in the market. It can vary a little bit from different brands, but Disco Brake, they are really stable, 3.5 stars of 5, and those are the brake pads that most of the companies they use for OEM production. That means when you buy a bike, you get always those brake pads because they are safe, they work good in all conditions, they are pretty safe. So, but once you have to change the brake pads, you have to choose brake pads. You can choose again if you are satisfied with the semi-metallics, or depending where you live, you go for one for organics or sintered. Let's go to the next category, sintered. Sintered power is 4. Of course, it's a little bit more power, especially in warm conditions, the rotor, or even weather conditions. Quietness is 4. Okay, it's a little bit more noisy. Life expectancy is completely 5 stars because it's metallic, so the durability of the brake pads, they are longer, much longer than the Kevlar. And heat dissipation also, because they work in high temperature conditions, it's a 3 stars. Next one, Kevlar or organics. Kevlar organics obviously is completely opposite than the sintered. They have a power 5 stars, quietness, no noise because they are really soft. They have a 5 stars. Life expectancy, it gets reduced because they are softer, so they get damage and they run away faster. And heat dissipation, as we told before, they are really good when cold conditions or the first bite of the rotor when the rotor it's cold, but at the end when the rotor gets warmer and warmer in long descents, the brake pads they lose a little bit performance. So, especially for special bikes, semi-metallic, it's for all condition of bikes. Sintered, because it's life expectancy, long life expectancy, and power, I will recommend it for e-bikes or heavy bikes, because you need to stay on the brakes for long to stop the bike, so you need a brake pad that works really good in high temperature conditions. So probably sintered, it's the recommended brake pad for e-bikes or heavy bikes, or the combination between rider and bike that is heavy. Kevlar, especially, they are soft and the durability is short, so I will use it for cross-country bikes or probably probably for warm conditions, but or the hilly mountains, depend your terrain, when you don't have such a long downhill that the rotor they don't get a high temperature, so I will recommend organics. Then Disco Brake, they create a new category, Ceramic Pro, Ceramic Pro. Ceramic Pro is a special combination for competitions probably, because they have power 5 stars, quietness 5 stars, life expectancy 3, get reduced quite a lot. So that means those Ceramic Pro, they are really soft. So it's pretty good for cross-country competitions, for small rides, short rides, I don't know, for pump tracks, let's say, pump track bikes, or for trial bikes probably. They are really good because they are really soft. Life expectancy 3, that means along the year probably you will change it 2 times. Then they create a new category for competitions. It's a hardener ceramic. That means all the ceramic they improve a little bit and they went up with the stars. Power close to 5, not 5, close to 5. Quietness 4. Life expectancy close to 5, 4.5, and heat dissipation 4.5. So those kind of brake pads, probably they are really good for marathon. And the last category from Disco Brakes, it's copper free. Copper free, it's a really special brake pad that probably is well recommended. Cedric Gracia can tell us about that. It's fully recommended for downhill bikes, for terrain where you have a really long downhills and you use a lot the brakes, not really speed, but you have to use a lot the brakes, and the rotors they get a high temperature. So this is copper free because look at that, power 5, quietness 4.5, so that means it makes a little bit noise, but when you are in a really long downhill, it's never quiet. There is a lot of noises, so you don't care about the noise of the brakes. Life expectancy 4.5, so especially for those downhillers that they use 3, 4, 5 minutes or long downhill, 20-minute downhills in marathons that you are always constantly on the brakes. So its life expectancy is pretty good. And heat dissipation, it's 4. So that means they don't get so warm. What do you think? Good review from Disco Brakes. Remember, 3 categories, but Disco Brake they have 5. So they have brakes, they have brake pads for all kind of bikes. See you next year. Ciao.